Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I love to give all praise, honor, and glory to my power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Elder Tahar and the rest of the elders that are fairly pushing this truth, a great millstone. And as always, peace and blessings unto the elect. All right, so I want to do this lesson on what transpired on Friday night's camp, which you had this one guy. He had came up to the camp, which me and the brother Shamgar, the brother that's in a white and purple garment, we've dealt with that guy before. This was months ago, damn near almost a year ago, when me and the brother started going out on our own by ourselves. And he came up with the argument of Babylon being the Vatican City, which is a stupid argument. And I was cutting him up, but of course, you know, Jake is prideful. Right? Jake has an ego. We were all cutting him. And it's real easy to debunk Babylon being Vatican City. So I'm just going to go into it real quick. Yahweh Tazah. The lesson is edifying. If you want to watch it, it's around about the 1 hour mark. Or you can see we was bringing out the scriptures. You know, we was cutting him with the scriptures. And Jake is so prideful. He didn't want to answer questions. He didn't want to concede because he knew that he was wrong. All right, but real quick, just to go to Revelation 17 real fast. All right, because this is where they will go to say that the Vatican is Babylon. All right, so they will read Revelation 17:9. It says, and here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads or 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. So they will say, yeah, the mountains, that represents the hills that the Vatican City is sitting on. But the mountains does not represent hills. Our verse 10 lets you know what the mountains or the seven heads are dealing with. All right, Revelation 17:10. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. So the 7 kings are dealing with, the 7 mountains are dealing with 7 kings. The 7 heads. The 7 heads are 7 kings. And so a king rules what? A king is over a what? A certain area, a certain landmass, a government. So that's what the 7 heads and the 7 mountains represents in Revelation 17. Kings, and then the land that they rule, right? Which the 5 are fallen. The 5 are fallen. That's going into the Greeks, the Spanish, the French, Germania Major, and Germania Minor. And then it says, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And the other that has not yet come is dealing with Britain. And Slovakia, the 1 is dealing with Rome, because Rome was ruling in the time of John. And it says that when he cometh, he must continue a short space, and that's dealing with Britain, because Britain only had a short rule. All right, so that's one way to debunk that. And then also, I came with the argument of where are the bulk of the Israelites at? All right, where are the bulk of the Israelites at? And I went to Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, Jeremiah 50:33, because the scriptures tell you where the bulk of the Israelites would be, because wherever the bulk of the Israelites are, that's where the great deliverance is going to be at. Where's the great deliverance is going to be wherever part of the world the majority of the Israelites are. He kept saying, we're scattered. We're scattered. Yes, we are scattered. The Bible does say that we are scattered. But there is a landmass where the majority of the nation of Israel are at today. So this is Jeremiah 50:33. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. You see that? So the children of Israel, which are dealing with the northern kingdom, and the children of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, they're going to be oppressed together in the same land. They're going to be oppressed together. Where are the bulk of so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native and Seminole Indians being oppressed together at? America. So America has to be Babylon, because that's where the children of Israel are going to be delivered out of, which I'm going to get that next. The last time we were oppressed together was during the time of Egypt and during certain captivities in the book of Judges. That was the last time we were oppressed together. Now, he said ancient Babylon, which he was wrong on that, and he admitted that he was wrong on that. Now, how was he wrong on that? He was wrong on that because the northern kingdom went into captivity under the Assyrians, and the southern kingdom went into captivity under the Babylonians. You read that in the book of Kings, or you can read, matter of fact, let me get this in 2nd Ezra real fast. This is 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, and verse 40. It says, those are the 10 tribes, which that's dealing with the northern kingdom, which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. You see that? So the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes, they got carried forth from out of their land, and they went into the land of Assyria. That's where they were led captive at. And while they were being in slavery over there, the southern kingdom was slaves to the Babylonians. So we weren't in captivity together then. The last time we were in captivity together was in ancient Egypt, and when we were in various captivities in the book of Judges. So now let's go to Micah. Well, I'm going to read Jeremiah 50 and 33 again. It says, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. So both kingdoms are going to be oppressed together, being in slavery together at the same time. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So this is dealing with collectively as a whole, Israel and Judah, southern and northern kingdom, both kingdoms being in slavery together. And we're going to be delivered together at the same time out of where we are being enslaved at. So let's go to Micah. Micah, the 4th chapter, and the 10th verse. This is easy to debunk. But it says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city. And the city is dealing with what? Jerusalem. All right, this took place in 70 AD. All right, we went forth out of the city, which is Jerusalem, during the so-called Jewish-Roman wars. And it says, and thou shalt dwell in the field. And the field is predominantly Africa, because I say predominantly because we, on the southern kingdom, we went everywhere. Not just Africa, but predominantly we fled to the west shores of Africa and the northern parts as well. And it says here, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. Then after that, you're going to go to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. You see that? So there in Babylon, that's where you're going to be delivered at. Should I let you know that the Israelites as a whole collectively will be in Babylon to be delivered? And when will that take place? That's going to be taking place here, over here in America, because this is where the Israelites are predominantly located at, in America. So let's go to Jeremiah now. This is Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter, and verse 18. It says, in those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. You see that? So both kingdoms are going to walk together out of the land of the north to where? The land of our fathers, which is where? Jerusalem, the so-called land of Canaan. Should I let you know that we would have to be in the same area, in the same location, to be oppressed together, right? So that just proved that, that America has to be Babylon. And when you read different scriptures, the north is symbolized, or the north is always associated with Babylon. Man, let me go ahead and get that. And through the Spirit, America is called what? North America. But this is Ezekiel 26:7. This is, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, our brain Tyrus Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, a king of kings from the north, with horses and with chariots and with horsemen and companies and much people. You see that? So you see how Babylon, even ancient Babylon, is located where? In the north. And America is located in the north. That's why it's called what? North America. So the Israelites are going to be delivered from America and also other places where we're scattered at. But we're going to be delivered collectively as a whole. The great deliverance is going to take place over here in America. So that's how you know that Vatican City cannot be Babylon, because majority of the Israelites are not in Babylon. Shalak is not in the Vatican. They're here in America. This is where you will find so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians at, predominantly over here. Of course, we are scattered, but there's the great deliverance is going to take place in one location, pursuant to what I just read in Jeremiah 3:18. Which, let me go ahead and go back there again, just to put the icing on the cake. Jeremiah 3:18 again. It says, In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north, to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. You see that? So we're going to come together. And this is a cut on the so-called condom hatch as well. Because why is it that there's only one tribe over there? Where are the rest of the tribes at? The prophecy says that we are supposed to collectively, the Israelites were supposed to collectively come from the land of the north into Israel. There's only one tribe over there. So how do they fit the prophecies? They don't fit the prophecies. All right. So let me go ahead and get this in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 16 and verse 14. It says, Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. That's right. So we're going to be delivered from the land of the north first, and then every father is going to go and gather the rest of the tribes from the different locations that there are in. You get that in Isaiah the 11th chapter. This is Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that Ha'adawan shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. See that? So the Heavenly Father is going to have that great deliverance in America, but then he's going to set his hand a second time to recover the remnant of the Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. But this is where the Heavenly Father is going to set up the great deliverance at over here in America. That's why the 12 tribes chart is only pertained to the Western Hemisphere, because the Western Hemisphere is where the great deliverance is going to be at. Because, people say, oh, well, what about our brothers in Africa? Woo, woo, woo. Well, they're going to get recovered. That's not where the great deliverance is going to be at. The great deliverance is going to be right here in America. So we'll get to them, but the main focal point It's the Western Hemisphere. That's why America is getting so much heat right now. That's why America is about to get nuked. Because this is where that great deliverance is going to be at. All right, so with that, that's it. No need to make this long. Yahweh Tazah, your few brothers and sisters were edified. Till next time I say Shalom.